What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Road Graders with today's Ravens rant. And today we're going to be asking the question, who should the Ravens be sitting and why? And going back to taking a look at, we'll call it the 2019 playoff debacle, where, it seemed like there was a lot of rust, and it brought up the whole rust versus rest issue. And the Ravens are in the exact same position going into a final week where they have nothing to play for, and against the Pittsburgh Steelers nonetheless, just like it was in 2019 when Robert Griffin led that team out there and beat them. I think it was 28-10 back then. So it's going to be the same situation. And so I want to talk about kind of my thoughts towards this. And obviously I want you guys to drop a comment down below. If you guys are looking forward to this video, if you're fired up for the game on Saturday, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new here. We're going to be bringing these and tons of film next week. Going to be a really special opportunity next week to take a look at some of these players we haven't seen a lot of. So I want to start by taking a look at some of the guys that were ruled out today, because there were a few. So obviously OBJ was ruled out. Lamar Jackson, we already heard, was ruled out, but also Marlon Humphrey, Malik Harrison, Zay Flowers has been downgraded to doubtful. Daryl Worley, Kevin Zeitler, all are out. Number of questionable players, including quite a few guys that I think probably won't make it into this game. We have a number of guys playing through injury right now. And this is where I kind of want to start this discussion, because to me, the number one thing is health, right? So like a guy like Kyle Hamilton, I'm not that worried about rust with him. I'd rather him get the rest. Obviously, he's not going to play, though it did look like he was moving around really well at practice yesterday and today. So I think that's great. But I still think they're going to sit him, and they should. And so anybody playing with an injury designation should probably sit this one out, unless you're a special teamer, third stringer, those kind of bottom of the 53-man roster guys. Those guys probably will play even if they're playing through something. I don't want anyone playing through an injury. That's why I'm glad to see guys like Kevin Zeitler already ruled out. So that's going to give us guys on the offensive line. I think you're going to look at Patrick McCary, maybe Salah getting out there at left guard, Mustafa at center. I'd probably sit Tyler Linderbaum. And then I'd get Ben Cleveland in there for a full game of right guard snaps. And then put Daniel Falele in there for a full game and sit Moses. So Moses, Stanley, those two have been nursing injuries. Stanley has the knee injury. Moses has a torn labrum. Sit them. Why play them? Like, why make that worse? Give them a couple weeks to get up to 100%. When you're looking at the pass catchers, I think you're going to probably have to play with OBJ and Zay sitting. You're probably going to have to play Rashad Bateman out of necessity. And with some of the inconsistencies, some of the drop balls, I think that's a good thing. That's where I would lean towards the rust argument there. So it's kind of an individual decision, whereas I feel like in 2019, everybody sat. But here's the key difference between 2019 and 2023 to me. If you go back, and so what I just put up on the screen, this is the injury report for week 16. So the week before the Steelers game, this was the injury report. We know Mark Ingram went into the playoffs banged up. Mark Andrews had an injury. Other than that, they were one of the healthiest teams in the league. Now, if you go look at our injury report from last week, comparing again, this is against the Dolphins, we're comparing weeks before the bye. This is how banged up the Baltimore Ravens are right now. So this isn't just the guys that missed the game. Zay's been hurt for a while. Kyle Hamilton's been hurt for a while. Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen, two guys that show up on this. They're both playing through something. So again, what would I do? I'd play Trenton Simpson. I'd play Delshon Phillips. I'd play, those other fringe guys. I think we still got Josh Ross on the team and on the practice squad. So give those guys reps. Why play Rowe? Why play Patrick Queen? So again, anybody with an injury designation sitting on the bench, I'm willing to risk the possibility of rust, to rest those guys and get them 100%. Some of these guys that have been playing inconsistently, guys like I said, Rashad Bateman is one that really pops out to me. I play them because I want to kind of get them playing consistently. Jalen Armour-Davis, probably trying to play him to get him some reps, let some of those other corners rest. So that's my biggest argument. I think this team is more banged up than 2019. I think that leads me towards resting, less worried about the rust aspect. And on the rust side, I mean, that's a team prep thing. Harbaugh's already kind of talked about it. A lot of these guys are going through practice a little bit differently even this week. I think they'll continue to do that, basically treating it like a normal week. And then the other big thing I'll offer to you guys, and I've heard this from a number of guys that are around the team, whether it's reporters or, personnel in the building, this team is a lot more focused on business than that 2019 was. So take that as you take it with a grain of salt if you want, but I think these guys are a lot more focused. So that's what I have for you guys. Those are my thoughts. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment down below. Are you worried about the rust, or are you worried about getting these guys rusted up? Let me know. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Peace out, everyone.